think she is. Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall off there. Okay. Gosh, I hope she's okay.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
And he's got the handoff. Price finds the hole, and he's gone. Touchdown, Irish.
This is Price bringing it out, trying to return of his own. Now Jadarian Price turning on the Jets. 20-10 touchdown Notre Dame. Wow.
A run right downhill. Price makes a cut, gets the edge. Jadarian Price headed for the pylon. Touchdown Notre Dame. 47 yards finally.
And they do, and they got the corner though with Jadarian Price. They might pay the price. Jadarian Price to the end zone. Touchdown Notre Dame.
Price stays in there right behind Riley Leonard after a gain of 1. And they give it to Jadarian. Darts, beautiful move inside the 10. Touchdown Notre Dame.
Price the handoff up the middle. Oh, there goes Price. He's got speed. Price. Can he beat him to the end zone?
Price. And Price off to the races. Jadarian Price with a blocker in front down the sideline. Touchdown.
On the handoff up the middle. Exploding. It's Price to the outside. To the corner for the touchdown. Jadarian makes it happen for the score.
And gentlemen, is the daily puck drop. It is Friday, April 24th. Welcome in, kiddos. I'm in the Limback Lumber Studios. Jim Moore is in the Moore Mobile Studios with his dogs. Hopefully something interesting will happen here in the next 30 to 40 minutes. Welcome in. We give you the Jadarian Price highlight show package to start today's show. We'll get a lot into that. Also, Michael-Shawn Dugar is going to join us coming up in about 15 minutes or so. So we'll get the latest from the Dugar report from The Athletic. Of course, once again, I mentioned Limback Lumber Studios. Contractors are going to take care of you. Give them a call at 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Visit me on social media everywhere. Puck Sports, except for TikTok, Puck_sports. And go visit pucksports.com to sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. Jim, once again in the car. Brought to you by...
Hey, brought to you by Brian Turner at a cleanstreak.com. Roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, pressure washing. They do it all. How about this review from Debbie and Dave Carruthers? They were on time, courteous, very professional. Our windows and screens look amazing. Get yours that way, too. Just get a free estimate. Call Brian. He's a great guy. Tell him you love him. 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com.
He's the absolute best, and when it comes to the holidays and the Christmas time, he will hang your lights as well. As we always say, let Brian and his staff face death, and you don't, by not getting on a ladder.
Yeah, let those guys get on a ladder. You shouldn't get on a ladder. No one should.
So you talked to hopefully there will not be a stray dog. You are in the car again. Tell everyone, why are you sitting in your car one more time? Where is the go-to guy today?
Okay, I want to find out if anybody in Bend is listening to the pucksports.com podcast. You can find me right now at the end where Reed Market intersects with 27th Street in East Bend. I'm right outside Axel's Taco Shop. Deschutes Brewery is right behind me. There's a great Greek place. Got good gyros over here at the Great Greek. That's where I'm sitting doing the podcast. And the reason I'm here is because I didn't know how long you were going to keep me today. And I've got an 11:30 meeting at Brasada Ranch, where I'm currently a course marshal and a starter.
Okay. Why didn't you just go all the way out to Brasada Ranch?
I thought about it, but I wanted to take the dogs for a walk first. And if I went to Brasada, then it's a real fancy place, and then I would have to have my dogs on a leash and everything, and I didn't want to do that.
Do they, at Brasada Ranch, did they do any background check on your previous employment as a golf course marshal? Did they ask for any references from Quail? Where were you at? Quail Hollow, or what was it called? Quail Ridge?
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. Did they
Quail
call
Run.
what? Did they call what's his name at Quail Run to ask
Did they
him?
call Kale Run?
Yeah, did they call Kale Run?
Okay, based on my reporter background, I'm gonna assume not, because if they had, I probably wouldn't have gotten the job. Okay.
Do you think they have any idea what happened at Quail Run at Brasada Ranch?
I hope not. And I haven't written about this new job on Substack because I have these fears that I really, this is something like I screw up a lot. I admit, at 68 years old, you should have screw ups in your rearview mirror for the most part. But I continue to do it every once in a while. And I really don't want to screw this job up. They've been so good to me there. I had my first shift yesterday. I was a course marshal, kind of cruising around. And if you've never been to Brasada Ranch, it's probably about 30 miles from Bend. It's out in the wilderness, and it's just beautiful. The high desert, the mountains, everything spectacular. And I really want to atone for the screw-ups that I had at Quail Run, so to speak, at this new golf course, and prove that I can be a good starter and course marshal. And so, God, I was busting my tail yesterday. I had a good time.
Let's take it to the people on the stream. On the YouTube stream,
leave
a comment. You can leave a comment if you'd like. And if the comment's good, I'll throw it up on the screen for everyone to see. Let's take some odds. And let's set some over-unders of how long the new Brasada Ranch gig is going to last.
I won't screw this up. Why do you think I'm going to screw it up? I feel bad about what happened at Quail Run. I do. I feel really bad about it. I acted poorly. I performed poorly. I did everything poorly. I want to admit, atone for myself. Redemption.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I want.
Wild Boar says over-under is 4 weeks.
Okay. I'll take the over on that.
UW Augie 76 says 2 months.
Over.
Okay. Sean says 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Come on, Sean.
Coog Justin. Where's Coog Justin? Hold on. Where's he at? Coog Justin says 5 weeks.
Everything looked great yesterday. Everybody's been nice.
Okay.
I did the starter job and the course marshal job. I'm versatile that way.
Just don't, do you think, just don't write about them.
I'm not going to write about it.
My advice is don't write about them.
Even if I was thinking about, well, maybe if I write about it, just say how sensational the place is, because it is. It's not BS. It's it's a terrific golf course.
Don't do it.
But yeah, I think I'm going to stay clear of that.
Just nothing. Just don't write anything about how great the course is. Stack Mac says 7 weeks.
Yeah. I think I'm okay to talk about it here because there's not that many listeners that you have.
No, there's none. We got 0. We are actually negative. It's the first time in a podcast industry that they've got 0 negatives or negative listeners, negative 15 listeners. I'm not sure you can actually do that, but I think you can.
Speaking of negative listeners, I saw KJR's ratings for the past 3 months.
Jesus, this is what I'm talking about. Just stop talking about past places. God. You don't have to burn bridges with everybody.
It doesn't matter if you burn a bridge when you're retired. It just doesn't.
It does. You've got all those friends bridges over there.
Puck, come on. All those bridges you want to burn during your career, but you're thinking, oh my God, I can't burn a bridge because it'll hurt me in my next job.
Do you consider them friends over there?
Yeah, I have some friends there, but not that. Honestly, not that many.
Okay,
not that many.
Well, okay, but you've got a few, so stop bringing them up.
Jessamine, Ian.
Well, we know it's not Greg Bell because he said he was a terrible host.
Jessamine and Ian are my good friends. They're cool.
And then the same thing with Fane. You said Fane was terrible, so Fane. No.
I didn't say Fane was terrible, but I'm sick of his AT&T commercials. I can tell you that. Good Lord.
Well, wait a minute.
Like the guy wouldn't have gotten married to his girlfriend when she was in Alaska if it wasn't for AT&T. There's nobody sitting there going, God, thank God for AT&T, or Dick Fane wouldn't have married the Coug and had a couple of kids.
So he
would have been on Verizon or somebody else.
Okay.
What?
So you're so sick of them that you keep listening.
I do listen to KJR. I do.
Leave Dick alone. He didn't do anything to you. Leave him alone.
I listened to Greg Bell for a while yesterday because when you were with Mitch on YouTube or whatever, my phone kept shorting out and I couldn't. It got annoying, so I switched.
Imagine you couldn't figure that out, huh? It was interesting that you mentioned Ian, you mentioned Jessman, and I guess you don't like Chris Kidd anymore, huh?
Oh, I love Kidd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I was on the spot trying to think of everybody over there, and I forgot Chris.
No, Chuck. You didn't mention Chuck. Or?
Well, Chuck and Bucky and I'm not friends with them. I'm not.
You're friendly with them.
Well, I was friendly with them, but I didn't consider them friends, and they didn't consider me a friend either.
I think that's not true.
Softy was cool. Softy was always good to me, but do I consider myself a friend of Softy's? No.
Oh, stop. Hey, well, can I say something? A moment to be serious for a second, if I may? Can I give a shout out, some best wishes to Bucky Jacobson, please?
Yes.
Bucky, who I did not know what was going on. I guess he hasn't been on for a while. I don't know how many weeks. I think people that are watching or listening to this, they probably go back and forth, so they can tell me. I don't know how long he's not been on, but he hasn't been on for a while. And I saw his post maybe last week or 2 weeks ago saying, "Hey, I'm taking a leave of absence, stepping away." He mentioned health and mentioned something else, but didn't say what that something else was. You can allow yourself to speculate what that something else is, but he did update people today what has been happening. He said, "Good morning, folks. Quick update. Just got word that one of my worries is no more. It's not cancer. And I get to keep both eyes, which is great because I enjoy them immensely. Thank you, God." He said, "P.S. Thank you for all the prayers and well wishes. Much love." So I didn't know that. So to Bucky and to his family, thinking about you, but get well, and glad and thankful that he's cancer-free or did not have cancer. I guess did not know that that was the reason he'd stepped down, or one of the reasons why he has not been on the air. But just thinking about our former co-worker, I consider Bucky a friend, even though Jim doesn't.
It goes both ways. It's not like I don't like Bucky, because I do like Bucky. I enjoyed seeing him every morning when I worked there at KJR. And I feel the same way you do. What a scary deal with your eyes, cancer. And I was happy to see that tweet today, and I'm hoping that he'll be back soon to his show. You don't believe that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's ask you.
Jesus, God, you're a dick. You're just an absolute dick.
That is not true. Stop saying that.
Okay, you think I'm going to lose my job at Brasada Ranch. You started the show with that. You don't think I'm being sincere when I talk about Bucky and his health issues. I don't think Chris Kidd is a friend of mine. What else? The Seahawks made a bad pick of Jadarian Price.
What do you think? What do you think of Jadarian Price? I got a good friend of mine who was – well, you know what? Much like you with Bucky, I don't consider him a good friend, but he's a friend of this business because he's always been a listener, a guy that has reached out via social media, who was just ranting and raving to me yesterday on Twitter about what a terrible pick this was. Oh, what an awful pick. I'm like, what the hell do you know?
Can we clear something up first, though? Let me interrupt you. Let me clear something up first. I've heard Jadarian Price and I've heard Jadarian Price. Even on your video montage, I want to make sure. It's kind of like, I don't know, when I was a sports writer, I wanted to spell everyone's name right. That was a cardinal sin to screw that up. And so I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this kid's name right. And I've heard it both ways 50% of the time this morning and then in your video montage there.
I mean, all I've heard of is Jadarian Price. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that too.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Jadarian. So he was like, "God, this is a terrible pick. What's John Schneider doing?" In fact, he's like, "This is John Schneider of 6 years ago when he didn't know what was going on." I'm like, these guys, these people, no one knows anything. And I love these stupid grades that come out afterwards. He got a D or he got a B+. Who knows anything? I don't know. Here's what I would say to people that don't like the Jadarian Price pick. Okay, this is all I would say. I don't know if it's a good pick or not. Did I watch Jadarian Price play?
Neither does anybody else.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I've seen the highlights of him. That's it. I've read about him. That's it. What was the Seahawks' biggest offseason need? The biggest one. The number one thing they needed to address this year. What was it?
Yeah.
I'll wait for everyone's
the other
answer.
needs are up the track, right?
I'm just going to wait for everyone to respond with the same one, which was running back. That was their number one need in the offseason, was a find a running back. They got the second best running back in the draft. What are people bitching about?
Well, because
What?
historically, those people are probably bitching about, boy, you can't put yourself in a position to draft because of need. You need to draft the best.
Everybody
player
drafts
available.
for need,
and so
don't
there's
they?
There's some cornerback or another cornerback that probably was better at 32 than this guy was at 32. And
Doesn't every team draft for need? Isn't that the whole point of a draft? To draft for, I don't know. Let me check. Hold on. I'm getting my word from the producer. Okay. Yeah, you draft for need.
Okay. But yeah, I think you do within reason. Like when they drafted Witherspoon, was that their biggest need at cornerback? But didn't they look at him and go, God, this is a sensational player regardless of position. We have to take him at 5, and we can't believe that he's there at 5. So you run you run the risk, and just being the devil's advocate, you run the risk if you draft by need, you might hurt yourself in the long run.
But I'm just going to clearly they tried to trade down. That is obvious. I mean, you can read, and we're going to bring Mike on in a quick second here because he's waiting. And he's like, can you get to me? I'm the expert. You guys are idiots. You're right, Mike. We'll get to you in a second.
Yeah. For sure.
If you read Mike, you read Bob, you read all these people, and if you read all their stories, especially Mike's story, you'll see Schneider's comments. If you watch the press conference yesterday, which I did, I'm not sure if you saw it, it's clear they tried to trade down. It was obvious. He said it before. We're going to try and trade down. They couldn't do it. No one would bite on them. So they were stuck there. So being stuck there, they're like, what's our number one need? Running back. The second best running back's on the board. Let's take him. I
agree with the people that are saying that they weren't disappointed in the pick per se. They just felt like they could have probably gotten him at 35 or 38 and then gotten the additional picks too.
Okay, but if you can't find anyone to trade with you, then you can't find anyone to trade with you. So let's you and I can shut up now because let's bring on an expert. Okay? It's Michael-Shawn Dugar from The Athletic. Who's drinking his morning smoothie, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, what did you make of the Seahawks selection there of Jadarian Price?
Yeah, I'm not a running back guy. I'm just not, and full disclosure, I was not when they drafted Ken. I was like, they have other needs. A running back at 41 is rich. And to be fair, they did have other needs. When they addressed them later, they needed another tackle. I was like, why are you guys not drafting another lineman? They ended up getting Abe later. They needed DBs. They just happened to also get Kobe and Reek later. So I felt that way when they drafted Zach. I was like, oh, you guys need a lineman. Why are you drafting another running back? You just took one at 41. So in those years, I could also have named you who I would have waited to take. Like in 2022, when I took Ken, I was like, I'll take the BYU kid in day 3, which in that year was Tyler Algier. Same thing with Damian Pierce, who ended up going to the Texans, had a good rookie year as well. I think he's from Florida. So every year I was like, that's kind of high. I would have waited and took insert guy here. This year, that's probably Jonah Coleman. It's like, oh, Jadarian, is fine. I probably would have just took Jonah Coleman in the 4th or something like that. That's kind of how I view it. To the conversation you guys were having about need, the example I give people to help them understand it is if Jason Myers had retired on Wednesday, kicker would be their biggest need, right? They legitimately would not have one on the roster. But if they drafted one with 32, everyone would want to slap John Schneider in the head with an IPA, right? But John would tell you, oh, if we filled our biggest need. They're like, well, John, you didn't need to draft a kicker with your first pick, right? So and you can use a few other positions. Same thing if Michael Dixon had retired or was traded or something like that. So yeah, you can address a need, but at what cost? The draft is not just acquire the best players, as weird as that sounds. You're one in a hard cap league. 2, every draft slot has a salary, right? So let's look at Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love already is making a guaranteed $50 million. He's got the biggest guarantee of any running back in the league today. right now, like higher than Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, everybody. That matters when you are addressing a need. If I'm running the Cardinals, do we need a running back? Sure. Do we need one that we got to pay $50 million to? Probably not, because we're picking third for a reason, right? So it's not as much to do with the talent of the player. Jadarian's probably going to start. It's really just the draft is not just about that when you have a hard capped league with fixed draft salary slots.
Okay, Michael-Shawn, just as a hypothetical, let's say they drafted someone else at 32 last night, not Price. Would they have been okay with Helani, McIntosh, Akers, Emil Wilson, and injured Charbonnet as their running back core?
No, probably not. But there's other running backs in the draft. Like I said, I was like, instead of they take Colton Hood from Tennessee instead. I'd have been like, all right, cool. With 64, take Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas. Boom, problem solved. Or if you don't want to do that, pick 96, take Jonah Coleman from Washington. Boom, problem solved. You want to wait? Take Heidenreich, I can't remember his first name, kid from Navy. Boom, problem solved. Like there's other backs. I think we've seen a few teams now, Super Bowl winning teams, I believe, get in trouble, quote unquote trouble, just feeling like they can take the luxury pick, quote unquote, after winning the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs did the same thing with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. 2020 draft. The next two picks were T. Higgins and Michael Pittman Jr., which would have been the receiver wasn't a need for them. You know, they have McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Tyreek Hill. But who would you have rather had if, for the Chiefs? T. Higgins, who was literally the next pick, or a running back? I think in the same draft that the Patriots, after they won the Super Bowl or either lost it to the Eagles, they took Sony Michel, I believe. They need another running back? No. But they're like, we're picking 31 or 32, whatever their pick was. So we see teams do this, and it just doesn't seem like good resource allocation to me. Again, the player is great. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be a starter. He solves a need, but if you ask me, like, was the best use of the pick? Yeah, probably not.
That smoke alarm is going to keep going off.
I know. It's just I thought it was in my daughter's room. Instead, I think it's in my office. It's killing me.
It's okay. That's the worst sound in the world. Anytime it goes off my house, I just take a hammer to it. All right, what type of player are the Seahawks getting in Price? I mean, you look at his numbers at Notre Dame. I think there's a lot to like. One would be the fact that he backed up Love. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on him, like some of these running backs do when they get into the NFL, because he was averaging the last 2 years about 10 touches a game. So he's going to come into this league pretty fresh. So you got to like that. On the stuff that maybe doesn't involve the actual stuff on the football field, I think they'll away from it. I think in this day and age, the portal and the NIL and all of that, I think for me, I can only speak for myself, it's refreshing to see a guy say, I'm going to stick it out for 3 years at one school, even though I'm not going to be the starter. I'm going to still stay there because I committed to that school and play out. It sounds like that made an impression on the Seahawks.
Yeah, so like John really loves that. The whole loyalty thing. I hate the word using loyalty for that because these kids transfer for all different types of reasons. Sure. And to Mike McDonald's credit, he said that on Monday. He was like, I don't want to just lump all the transfers into one bucket. Not all kids are running from competition. Some kids have family situations, to take care of. Some are moving back home, closer to be back home. Sometimes their coach leaves. Sometimes a new coach shows up and says, get in the portal. Like Deion Sanders did at Colorado. He said, all you guys can go. So I tend to be I'm not as like gung-ho about that as John, because that just seems too broad when these kids transfer for all types of reasons. It's not all just, I can't beat out that kid, I'm going to leave. And then there's so many good examples too. I mean, Titans took Cam Ward, right? Transferred 3 times or whatever? Right. Cam wasn't running from no smoke. Neither was Joe Burrow, right? So Jaden Daniels, there's a ton of examples can go on and on. But yes, what the Seahawks care about, they do love that loyalty word. They like the kids that stay there. Whether you're a high pick like Jadarian, or they loved it with like Michael Jarrell, who came from, I think, like Finley, or it's a D2 guy who had opportunities to trade up and didn't, and I respect that. I love what Mike McDonald said, though. It's part of the whole pie, and not just like, all right, he stayed, so he's a good kid. Yeah. Well, no, let's talk to the strength and conditioning staff. Let's talk to his teammates. Let's meet his family. Like, use that as like a data point in the whole eval. And I think that's the way to look at it. And I think John means that as well. He just does a poor job of explaining it. He's just like, kid stayed loyal. Boom. It's like, well, no, man. Like, be very careful here. I remember talking to Bobby Wagner I was like, he hated being at Utah State. I was like, if there was a portal, would you have bounced? He was like, oh yeah, freshman year.
Really?
I'd have been gone. But Bobby would have transferred somewhere closer to LA because his mom was sick.
Yeah.
Right? Does that mean Bobby's not a good kid? No. It just means he would have transferred back home to be close to his family and get out of the snow. So, and there's tons of stories like that as well, So I'm not as big. I love to add that context on why kids transfer. But yeah, the Seahawks love that about him. He's something with his mom. I think his mom was sick when he was a kid. And that was part of his, inspiration as well. So like he checks a lot of the personality boxes. I think the fact that he, not just that he stayed at Notre Dame, is that what he did when he stayed is like, all right, I'm number 2. When I get the ball, I need to go behave like number 1.
Yeah.
And that's more important to me than staying. He averaged 6 yards a carry. No matter where he was at, 6 yards a carry is 6 yards a carry. Only had, I think, less than 700 yards, but scored 11 times, including a couple times from 20 plus out. So I think beyond any personality stuff, they're getting a guy who can just run the pill at a really high level. And I think this is maybe the only position where I'm like, oh, he didn't play much. That's great. To your point about the tread on the tires. So because running back, I may not want a guy who got 200 carries for 4 years at Alabama. And you come in, you might take one hit in the NFL. Now your knee sucks.
Right.
This guy, I think, took less than 300 carries the last 2 years total. And this is probably, again, the one time I'm like, oh, he didn't play much. That's actually great.
I'm glad that you're putting this the way you're putting it, Michael-Shawn, because I get a kick out of it lately. It seems to me that I'm hearing all this stuff about character. Does he fit into the culture? And it's almost like talent is secondary to that stuff. And I'm going, no. You're taking the guy because he's talented as hell over
Right.
the character thing. But what I wanted to ask you about too is about the Rams. Did the Rams screw up as much as everyone seems to think they did? Because there's a part of me that thinks, yeah, they did. I agree with that. But be careful what you wish for here. Maybe 3 years from now that the Alabama quarterback will be sensational in the NFL. Who knows?
Yeah, so I was talking to our Rams writer, Nate Atkins, last night. He texted me randomly. I haven't talked to Nate in a week or two. And he was like, congrats on winning another Super Bowl or covering another Super Bowl. And I was like, what is he talking about? And then I saw some of what Sean McVay said, what Les Snead said about this pick. It puts in perspective about taking Ty Simpson with 13th overall. It puts in perspective when Mike McDonald and John Snyder talk about, oh, we're all aligned. We all agree on the guy. It sounds just like whatever front office cliche. And then you go watch the Rams press conference. It's like, oh, that's what they mean. No matter what I feel about Ty Simpson, I don't think he's the guy. But even if I did think he was the guy, red flag that Sean and Les don't seem to be aligned on that. Or at least aligned on taking him at 13. That's the worst thing that could ever happen to any draft pick because everyone doesn't agree that you're supposed to be there. That's a huge problem. So I think that's going to be the biggest. I think RG3 had that problem as well. Trey Lance, I think, had that problem in San Francisco. When they take you high, I want everyone to be in agreement that we should take this kid where we're taking this kid. And Sean McVay was like, we'll see what him and Stetson Bennett can do together. What? They just took him with the 13th pick. He better. I want him competing with Matthew. Fail, and then next year when Matthew sails off into the sunset, we roll with him. So that was a problem.
We got to go find. I mean, we could play the audio, play the video. I mean, the body language from McVay was telling just everything. It is. He was not on board. And then there's a video coming out that he did, I think, at the owners' meetings. It's probably a month or two ago with Kay Adams saying, "I've done no research. I've done no research on Ty Simpson. You've done more than I have." They clearly was not on board with that pick. All right, we'll let you go. Go read all of Mike's work at The Athletic. Follow him on social media at Mike Dugar. Seahawks Man to Man podcast with Chris Kidd. Jim, you remember Chris? You remember Chris? We used to work with him.
Chris Kidd.
I call him a friend. You don't.
Fellow Coug. I love Chris Kidd.
He's a friend of
before
mine.
Michael-Shawn goes, I'm just going to interrupt you. Should we be upset at Lawan Watts for playing for the Huskies?
No, it has nothing to do with the draft. No.
Oh, he transferred to the. No, yes.
Transferred to Wazoo. So why would you be upset?
It doesn't matter.
It matters. It matters, Jim. It matters.
You guys
these
are
kids,
dorks.
We just talked about loyalty. Come on, man. That's the one place you don't go.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to jump in now. You just went on a rant about how you're not going to hold kids accountable for transferring, and now you're going to be critical of a kid transferring?
You can't play for the Huskies if you were a Coug at one point.
Oh.
There it is. It's really just that. I would say the same thing about a kid going from Bama to Auburn, Ohio State to Michigan. Like, there's just some things.
He wasn't a Coug. He was an Eastern Washington Eagle. He's not even a Coug.
Oh, he played for us, right? Lawan. He was number 4?
For what?
Yeah.
4 months?
God.
How long you got to
suck
play?
today? This is one of your worst shows ever.
Well, because you're a part of it. Yeah, I would say so too.
Jim,
Right.
Jim. I think you. If I remember correctly, you advocated for Chris in your column about what they should do with that 10-1 spot. So I appreciate the.
Well, I did.
The
They made a
advocacy
mistake
there.
over there.
He doesn't consider him a friend, though, Mike. So
Oh, shut the hell
Hey,
up.
as long as you advocate for him, I don't care what you consider him.
Yeah.
That,
Can I
that's
ask you one
fine
more
word.
thing before you go? I got a random thing, and I it's a really cold take. I know it is, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Is anyone else sick of Fernando Mendoza's interviews? I want the kid to get to Vegas and go to a strip club and gamble and have a drink. That's what I want from him. Am I wrong about him? Are you sick of him during his interviews?
I'm not. He's because I watch so many boring quarterbacks that he is sort of refreshing. Him and Cam Ward are two different flavors of the same refreshing tree. I would say like Cam Ward be like, yeah, we suck. We got to get better. That's not quarterback speak. I've listened to a lot of quarterback speak I've listened to it every week with Sam Darnold. Yeah, we just got to get better every day. And this is just another game. I don't want to hear that. I like Fernando doing interviews that seems like he just took 3 5-hour energies at once. I can appreciate that. We need more of that. These quarterbacks are just so robotic. They're trained. What you just said, Jim, I have a section about that in my book, the franchise, Seattle Seahawks. There was an executive for the Seahawks at Russ's Senior Bowl interview who thought like, yeah, I'm tired of this kid. Buttoned up. He was like, hey kid, can you just say, fuck you, I drink beer? And then Russ agreed. He said, fuck you, I drink beer. He was like, all right, man, you're going to be a Seahawk. And there you go. They drafted Russ. So history repeats itself. Yeah. It's at the Senior Bowl, Russ's Senior Bowl interview.
all right, you guys go and go write some hate texts and Twitter posts to Lawan Watts that is joining Washington.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's bad. You can't do that. Whether it's him or Noah Williams, you just can't. And Noah's from Seattle, and I hated that. He was moving back closer to family, like I gave an example of earlier.
That should be okay, right?
Nope. I was like, Noah, what are you doing? That's why he forgot how to shoot when he got there, too.
Dumb.
Michael-Shawn and I are true Cougs. We're true Cougs, and you're not. You're a fake Coug, pup.
Yeah, I'm a fake Coug that has season tickets that goes over there every weekend and supports the team and gives money to them. Yeah, real fake Coug. He went to Eastern Washington.
I've been paying 2 tuitions the last 3 years to Washington State University, okay?
Yeah, and look what it's got you.
That's a hell of a lot more than your season tickets.
Do they have jobs yet or what?
Yeah, thanks to you, one of them got one because you gave him a connection.
Oh, so what? Who gave him the connection?
Oh, yeah. You walked into that, Jim.
Who was that?
It was you.
Oh, that's right. So who's a better Coug?
God. Michael-Shawn and I are better Cougs.
Nah, you are.
Nah, I don't have season tickets yet. I can't stomach. I don't even go to Pullman anymore.
You can't. You're too busy during the football season.
I can't. Well, emotionally, people who make the trek over there like Puck, those are real Cougs, man. I can't do it. Because we're bad.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate you guys. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
I'm telling you, man. Come on. You can't be mad. Who cares about Lawan Watts? God.
I do. That bothered me.
Why?
That bothers me. It bothered past tense, bothers me today.
He was there for 3
I
months.
hope he's terrible for them. I hope he's terrible. Okay?
He was there for
Sorry.
three, but it's not like I don't know. It just doesn't bother me. He was there for like 3 months.
He could have gotten similar money somewhere else.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
Are you going to root for him this year?
Yeah, I'm going to put on my Lawan Watts jersey that I went and bought for the 3 months he was there.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go do. Hey, have you seen I was going to say, have you seen the latest? Have you read the latest? I am enamored. I can't stop, and I can't get enough before you go. I know you got to go soon. I can't get enough of this Russini Vrabel stuff.
I knew exactly what you were going to bring up.
Oh, my God. Well, it's on the rundown. It's right there.
I'm with the guy on Twitter. They need to run a DNA test on their kid, on her kid.
There's a chance that her kid is his kid.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but I love to bet. I would bet with both hands
Well,
that that's his child.
Do you know
because
the name
that was
of the
right?
kid is?
That coincided with when she came out with that tweet saying
Yes.
something about Michaels in the NFL, coaches and players.
Her
who were the
son's
best
name.
ones over the years.
Her son's name is Michael.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How'd she come up with that?
What if the kid is Vrabel's kid? So speaking of that, you know, the power of AI, you know, AI has been in the news a lot, right? The stuff that AI can do now is it's scary. It's scary how good it is.
You talking about that talk show interview that
Have you seen this? The AI.
I saw the video. I didn't have the audio on though, where he breaks down and cries
The
on the
AI
talk show.
Maury Povich. Oh, I've got it for you.
In the case of 4-year-old Mike Vrabel, you are the father.
I told you, Mike.
How do they do that?
I don't know.
How does AI, that Russini with Vrabel and you didn't hear from Vrabel if you're just listening, and Maury Povich. I don't know how they do that. That is unbelievable. When I saw that I can't tell if that's fake. I cannot tell if that's fake at all.
Hey, did you sleep with her when she was at KJR?
Wow, that went fast. That went 0 to 60 real fast.
Or did
not.
anyone? Did Stretch sleep with her? Anybody? I mean, it's fair game.
There was someone that did.
Okay, who was it?
I'm not at liberty to say.
What? Everything is fair game with her now.
No, I would
unless
say
that person was married.
I would say the person was not married.
Okay.
Nor was the person that anyone would really know.
Well, plus she wasn't married herself then.
No,
so
this was years ago. And people, there's going to be someone's watching or listening. They have no idea. Diana Russini got her career started at KJR way back in the day. She was, when Softy was on TV, Comcast Sportsnet, she would come on the TV side that they were simulcasting their show and do these news updates. There was someone that did screw around with her, but wasn't an on-air personality.
Okay. All right. So what's I don't even know what to say about that. If you had to bet though, Puck, like I was just saying,
I would bet that the kid
wouldn't you bet that
is.
That's what I would bet too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then how do you think it went when Diana was with her husband saying, "What should we name our son?"
I don't know, dude.
Like was Michael the number one choice of his too?
This has been going on since they got married. I mean, there's the pictures now that came out of New York City from 6 years ago of them in that bar. She, I think, just got married or was getting married at that point. There's pictures of coming out in 2024 or 23 when he got fired from the Titans. They're at a casino together. This has been an ongoing relationship from the get-go.
Why did it take so long for those pictures from the past to come out?
Apparently, the ones that came out in both instances, I think, if I read this correctly, the one that came out of them in the bar in New York City, the person that did it had no idea who she was.
Oh,
at the time, they didn't know. They just thought it was some random woman. They didn't know. And I think the same thing about the pictures that surfaced in the casino when he got fired from the Titans. The person that took him did not know. They just thought, "Hey, that's Mike Vrabel. He just got fired by the Titans." They didn't know who she was.
Okay.
I think that's. I think now they're probably saw it on their phones, like, "Oh my God, that's her," and then they went and sold it to those guys.
Okay, Puck. At this point, you're really good with this with the Puckett Crisis firm. What do you advise Mike Vrabel? And what do you advise Diana Russini at this point?
If I was Mike Vrabel, this whole BS thing about going to counseling or therapy, whatever he's going to go to, just come out and say, "I screwed up. I had an inappropriate relationship with Diana Russini. I owe first and foremost, my family an apology, my wife, my kids. I let them down. And that's all that matters right now is I let them down. I'm sorry that caused shame for the New England Patriots and this staff. And it was inappropriate and I should have never have done it. I'm human. Everyone makes mistakes, but this is a massive Mistake on my part, and it's something I'll live with for the rest of my life. For Russini, I don't know. Her career's over. I mean, it's done. There's no. She's never going to be hired by another organization unless it's some like, Puck Sports will hire her. Something like that. Something like Puck Sports will hire her.
The streaming numbers aren't what you're hoping for, but
yeah. Well, she wants to co-host. She can come on here. I'll give her a job.
She'd be more interesting than me. That's for sure.
She's gonna do something like me. She's gonna do the Russini report. ESPN's never gonna hire CBS or NFL Network or no one. She's done. She's done because I'll say this. I have long suspected with her that there was something fishy of how she became an insider so quickly. It never added up to me. And I'm sorry to bring this up because I think women in this business it's a hard thing to break into. I think it's extremely hard. It's male dominated. It's sexualized. They go into locker rooms and clubhouses and it's immediately they're looked at and judged and all that. I think extremely difficult. And I think the women that are in this profession that do it, quote, the right way, that are in it because they love sports, they love reporting, and they want to be good at that job, I feel for them. But there's others who get into this job, who go to work, who go cover a game, and they put on the tightest pants, they put on the tightest shirt, they put on the tightest skirt that they can find because they know that will work in their favor. I think she's one of those reporters. And when she left KJR to go back east, I don't even know where she went for a while. But then all of a sudden she popped up on ESPN as an insider. With what background? She never had a background covering anything, ever. I mean, these people that are insiders were reporters. Mike Garofalo worked for the Daily News or the New York Post. I can't remember which one. Covering the Giants. Adam Schefter was a reporter. And then they were reporters. She was never a reporter. And there's been long rumors and whispers about how she had others in the past that maybe she's had inappropriate relationships with. I think there's a good chance, and I would put a lot of money in, that she has, quote, slept her way to the top. And I think there's some in this business, women that do that. And it's unfortunate because it's bad for other women in this industry that are in it because they're great at what they do. And that's unfortunate. But I think that's the case with her.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if any of that. I mean, that's fair speculation at this point. What about the husband? Do you stay with her?
No.
Or Vrabel's wife? Vrabel's wife, do you stay with him?
No. Well, I don't know. I think the rumors are at least that it was the husband that hired the PI, the trailer. So I would assume that.
God, you never know though in those situations. I would, again, in betting terms, I would go with one of the two staying. Probably Vrabel's wife will stay with him.
I don't think if he stays with her, he's a fool. He's been compromised. He's been. I mean, she's made a fool out of him. I mean, have you seen all the clips of the past interviews she did, just taking him apart, saying he's not that big of a deal and he's not that good looking. I mean, she's been cheating on him since day one. I mean, there's no way that you can. I mean, but her career is over. I mean, she's never going to work in this industry again, ever, and nor should she.
No, I agree with you. And what about Vrabel? Does it affect him coaching the Patriots? Do you think the players in the locker room care that much about what's going on with their head coach?
Probably not.
You imagine the jokes they're saying about him behind his back?
Oh, for sure. And I don't think. And here's the thing about the women in this, and with players, and with this happens a lot, and people in this business that have had relationships with players. Some,
two of them are married to players here locally.
I know that, but there are others in this market that have had relationships with players that we're not going to sit here and name that a lot of people know who they are. And it's just, I don't know. I think if you're a real reporter and you're covering a team day to day, I think that crosses a major line. But that's just me.
Yeah, but you're right though. I was just thinking back to a time when I was covering the Sonics, and it's more difficult for women to go in locker rooms to this day than it is for men. And I remember one time there was a reporter from the beat writer for the News Tribune, Teresa Smith, and Frank Burkowski treated her like crap.
Yeah.
And I finally went up to Frank and I go, look, man, she's just trying to do her job.
Right.
I don't want her in here. And I was just like, God, just let her do her job. Just answer the questions. He was just a dick about it.
And I think that, and again, yeah, and I just want to make it clear. I think there's a lot of women who are in it because they want to be great reporters and they love sports. And I think it's women like Diana Russini bring them down. And I've had this feeling for a while. I don't know do you ever watch the Apple TV game of the week? The baseball game of the week.
Oh, the Friday night game?
Yeah. Do you know the reporter the reporter they have on there? Her name's Trisha Whitaker. Do you know who that is?
I don't, but I think I've heard her.
Okay. Go just look at her. Look at what she wears on the field. And you just tell me you think that's appropriate or not. And I don't, maybe you can say, hey, whatever. They can do whatever they want. I'm just saying, tell me what you think she's trying to do with what she wears with those players around her. She wears jeans, Jim, that you couldn't paint on tighter. She wears a shirt that you couldn't, that are showing off her chest that you couldn't, again, paint on closer to her body. She knows what she's doing. And she's no.
Do you think she's being asked to wear those clothes that way?
No, I don't think so. But I think it gives her access to players. What's the number one rule in advertising? What? Sex sells.
Yeah. Well, you're going somewhere with all of this that I don't want to go to, but I don't. It's making me uncomfortable.
Oh, and when you're uncomfortable, we've really reached the fucking bottom of the barrel. Okay, we're going to let you go.
You are? You want to talk about Lawan Watts anymore? Or?
Well, I was going to let you go. I'm off on Lawan Watts. Oh, I did want to bring this up real quick. Cool story last night in baseball. I didn't know this until I saw a post from Todd Millis, but this J.R. Ritchie guy that made his debut yesterday, a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, major league debut. Congratulations to him. He's a local kid from Bainbridge Island.
Yeah.
He was drafted out of Bainbridge High School in the Atlanta Braves organization. He made his debut yesterday, and he got a win. How about that? 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. Congratulations to J.R. Ritchie. Very cool.
The Braves are crazy good this year, and it'd be fun to watch him and see how he progresses.
Yeah, just a kind of a cool moment. Todd's got a great story up there, Varsity Wall News. We should also bring this up. It's the first Friday we haven't had Egan since Egan dumped us for his own fledgling streaming show that, by the looks of it, no one's watching.
You talk about me trashing on Greg Bell. Come on.
Well, he knows what we're making. Egan's not going anywhere. We just have got to figure out a way to do the show that doesn't contradict with what he's doing. And I don't know what we're going to do or how we're going to do it. No one's upset. No one's mad at Egan, or we're just got to figure it out. I'm just going to tell you, there's no way Chris Egan and Paul Sylvie said, hey, we'd love to drive in to do a 1-hour show every day. This would probably came from the top that they had to do this. So they're doing it. Good luck to them. Godspeed. I just don't know when we're going to do it because he's on at the same time as us when we do it. And so I don't know if we're going to you and I, the three of us talk. Do we record something, play at the same time? That would be weird because he's on at the same time. But I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to figure something out. This week was so hectic. He'll probably be on next week at some point. We just don't know how we're going to distribute it, if that makes sense.
Well, Puck, I didn't realize that you said something about, is this on the record information? I never know. King TV doesn't do a sports report anymore? Like on their nightly news?
No, they do. No, yes, they do.
Oh, I thought you said that they cut back on that, and this is a way to address that by having this show? Okay.
No, they still do a nightly 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I just don't know if those guys.
So this is in addition to their regular responsibilities.
Yes, what I'm saying, I don't think they do the 11:30 anymore. I think they just I think they do a 5 o'clock newscast with them or 7 o'clock. That's it. But then they don't do an 11:30. I can't wait till we get Egan on again because I want to talk to him about they do something in their show, which I know for a fact that he and Paul Sylvie know fucking jack shit about. They do they end every show with a betting segment. Do you think Paul Sylvie and Chris Egan have any idea how to bet on sports?
Oh, why don't they have us on for that?
Yeah. So, well, he's not going anywhere. He's going to come on. We just got to figure it out. But that's it. All right. Good luck in your job.
You don't mean that.
I do. I'm pulling for you. But
no, you kept the whole show. You've been saying how long is it going to take until Jim loses his job, and then all of a sudden you end it with good luck.
I want you to have success, but if there's any way you can get fired before 5.5 weeks, do it. Because I've made a bet on the poly market. Like that U.S. military guy. Did you see this story? That U.S. military guy that made like $400,000 because he was a part of the special forces that captured that Venezuelan president, and he made a bet on the poly market that he would be captured. Jesus Christ!
Oh man!
Yeah, have you seen that story?
I haven't.
He made $400,000, Jim, because he's under investigation right now because he was part of the special forces that went and captured this guy, and he bet a bunch of money. Oh, I think by tomorrow the Venezuelan president's going to be captured.
That's okay to bet on yourself, isn't it?
You know what? Actually, yeah, probably. Bet on yourself. That's right. That's what you and I do. We bet on ourselves. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck. See ya.
Thanks. Go Cougs. See ya.
Go Cougs. If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. All right, coming up as we wrap up the show, before we get to On This Day and Hey, What the Puck, I want to go back to Jadarian Price, who, of course, was selected by the Seahawks yesterday, pick number 32. Our good friend who was on our NFL draft show yesterday, Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network, caught up with Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's head coach, before the draft, and Marcus Freeman went into great detail about the type of player and person Jadarian Price is.
If you could just watch his plays, watch the plays that Jadarian Price played in the games here at his career at Notre Dame, there wouldn't be a question of why he's being talked about now, but it just wasn't a lot because you're sharing the backfield with Jeremiah Love, and he's such an unselfish player, but when you get him on the field, and you put the ball in his hands, he makes things happen. He makes big plays, kickoff return touchdowns, a long touchdown as you're just watching against Arkansas right before half. Like, he finds the way to get the ball to the end zone. He has deceptive speed, and he's really unique. He's got a unique ability to get the ball lateral and then vertical, right? He can outrun a defense to the sideline and get vertical. And so I'm excited to see what he does in a organization where he is the primary back, because he's been special, and it's just he's been in the same backfield as Jeremiah Love, and you know what, he's just taken advantage of the opportunities he's gotten.
Talked a little bit about this with Michael-Shawn Dugar earlier in the show. 280 career carries in the 3 years at Notre Dame. He averaged 10 touches a game in the last 2 seasons. This is a guy that does not have a lot of wear and tear on his body. I understand, and I thought Mike brought up a great point about the transfer portal, and every situation is different. I agree with that. His situation, to me, the fact that he did not transfer in this day and age where everyone transfers if you are not starting right away, I think speaks volumes for the kid's character. He knew he was going to be the backup to Jeremiah Love. He understood that Jeremiah Love was the number 1 running back. In fact, it goes back even before that with Price. He wasn't even recruited by Marcus Freeman. He was recruited by Brian Kelly. And when Brian Kelly recruited him, he was one of the top recruits. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of Denton, Texas. When Kelly took the job at LSU, he tried to get Price to join him at LSU. And Price said, no, I committed to Notre Dame. He stays with his commitment to Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. He sees that Jeremiah Love is going to be the starter. And most, if not all, players in the similar situation as Jadarian Price would have entered the transfer portal. He didn't. He stayed. He stayed. And he competed because he made a commitment. I'm telling you, that is rare in today's college sports. I agree, kids should transfer, and they've got different reasons and serious reasons why they do transfer. But a lot of these kids transfer because they're not playing. And he stayed and was part of a team, a very good team, and was a key member of that squad. He's a good football player, well-rounded, good on special teams, very active, and again, a multi-sport kid in high school, played baseball, basketball, track and field. We're going to listen. I'm going to play a little bite of his conference call with reporters yesterday. He's a guy that has faced adversity in his life, dealing with his mom, single mom. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016. She underwent 16 rounds of chemo and now was deemed cancer-free in 2017. After Price was drafted yesterday by the Seahawks, Price jumped on a conference call with all the reporters over at the VMAC.
You know, they knew the type of player I was, what I bring for the program, and I didn't know what exactly was going to happen, but I'm so blessed to be in this position and be picked by Seattle Seahawks. Me and the running back coach, Coach Hammock, we had a couple good conversations, one at the combine and then one Zoom where we were just talking about 45 minutes and just straight ball and then getting to know each other, and it just felt like it was going to be a good fit for me. Yeah, Seahawks, love to run the ball. You see what they did in the Super Bowl and what really got them to that far. Winning it all is, you got to run the ball. And what I can do in the backfield and also protecting quarterback and catching out of the backfield is phenomenal. But also the stretch game, outside zone, that's my bread and butter. So just being able to make one decisive move and get vertical.
Jadarian, you weighed 203 at the combine, it looks like. Was that your playing weight last year? And do you have an idea about where you want to be weight-wise for this upcoming year?
No, my playing weight would fluctuate, 205, 208 range. I was a little low for the combine. It wasn't planned. It was just, nerves and everything going on. I was not trying to be 203. But I do plan to be 210 playing weight.
Tell us about your decision to stay at Notre Dame. I imagine you had offers to go elsewhere. You're playing behind Love. Was there ever any consideration of transferring?
No, I made it. It was in my heart to stay at Notre Dame. It's a place I love, and building a relationship with those guys in the locker room, and what we had done the year before going to the national championship. That's what I wanted to do, and that's why I wanted to stay there. But also made a challenge for myself as well. Split reps with the best player in college football, and I did that, and I showed what I can do at the highest level. And it's sitting here now, and it was the greatest decision I could have made.
Type of football player he's going to be, but I'll just tell you, in that 8 minutes that I listened to and heard other interviews and seen other interviews with him, again, I have no idea what he's going to be like at the NFL level. He's immediately going to step in and be the number one starter on this team. But that kid's going to win at life. Whatever he does, whether it's a 10-year career in the NFL or goes and does something else, that Jadarian Price is going to win at whatever he does. The Seahawks will have more picks today, obviously. They're in the second day of the NFL draft. If you don't know, they got a pick in the second round, number 64, the 96 overall pick in the third, and the 188th pick there in the sixth round coming up here over the next few days. All right, let's get to On This Day.
Welcome to Hive Social, the social network that brings your real-world proximity to life. Tired of endless scrolling and fake connections? Privacy is built into the heart of Hive with easy-to-set-up safety fences and visibility controls. Whether you're here to hang out, network, or meet someone new, create events, share photos and videos, and keep the conversation going with built-in chats for every connection and every moment. Download now and see what's happening around you.
On This Day, brought to you by Hive Social, the official Puck Sports social meetup app. All right, let's wish some happy birthdays on this April 24th to some great former Mariners. Okay, the first one, see if you can guess who this player is. He was born in Würzburg, Germany. That's not too far from where my mother was born, by the way. 1965. He lived in West Germany until the 7th grade. Then his stepfather was transferred to Fort Lewis down there in the Tacoma area. He graduated from Bethel High School. He started his collegiate career at Tacoma Community College. He was originally selected in the 1984 draft by the Seattle Mariners, but opted to go to college and transferred to the University of Washington. In his only season on Montlake, he won the Triple Crown in the Pac-10 North Division. He was eventually drafted by the Expos in the 1986 draft. He made his major league debut with the New York Yankees in 1989. He was traded by the Yankees to the Mariners for a player to be named later, and Cash, you know who that player was. I don't need to tell you. You know exactly who that player was. That player, of course, was Mike Blowers. And Mike Blowers turned 60 years young today. He played 6 years with the M's and had a career 270 hitter. He retired as a Mariner in 1999. He went away and then came back. And, of course, went on to be a longtime broadcaster for the Seattle Mariners. Also, born on this day in 1967, he was a speedy and sure-handed shortstop who made his major league debut on April 3rd, 1989 for your Seattle Mariners. Little O. Omar Vizquel would play for the M's for 5 years before moving on to play for the Cleveland Indians, the Giants, the Rangers, White Sox, and finishing his career with the Blue Jays in 2012. He was a 3-time All-Star, 11-time Gold Glove Award winner. I did not know this, but he was the oldest shortstop to ever receive a Gold Glove. He did it first time at the age of 38 in 2005. Did it again the next year in 2006 at the age of 39. All-time leader in double plays made while playing shortstop. All that happening on this day, brought to you by Hive Social. All right, we wrap up the show with Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Tersuli Construction. From emergency response to full-scale rebuilds and remodels, Tersuli Construction, a full-service contractor handling your project from start to finish. Locally owned and operated out of Ballard and proudly serving the Puget Sound region for over 15 years. If you're dealing with damage or planning what's next, call the team that does it all, Tersuli Construction. Restoring what matters and building what's next. Give them a call, 206-793-3744, and visit them at tersuli.com. And back to the NFL draft. I understand some people getting upset with where he was selected. He wasn't a round 1 pick. He was a round 2 pick. But the simplest thing with Jadarian Price is this. The number one need for the Seattle Seahawks heading into the offseason was running back. That's what it was. They needed a starting running back. They didn't have one on the roster because, one, Zach Charbonnet is not going to be ready for the start of the season, and no one thinks George Holani is a number one running back, including the Seattle Seahawks. He's a good running back, and he's a good third down back, and he showed some flashes this year. He was good in the playoffs. They needed a number one running back. They got the second best running back in the draft of a class that's not considered all that good, probably like 4 or 5 guys, and they got the second best one. And if you talk to anybody that scouted college football, they all say the same thing. Had Price gone on and transferred somewhere else, he would have been the number one featured back and would have been one, again, like he was this year, one of the best backs in the draft. The Seahawks got him. Pick number 32. They drafted for need. I think that's important. I think all teams draft for need every single year in every single sport. They just got at pick number 32 a starter in the NFL at a key position. I don't really understand how people can be upset by that, but here we are. Some people will be upset about anything. That's Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Tersuli Construction, restoring what matters and building what's next. Give them a call, 206-793-3744. Visit them at tersuli.com. Thanks for watching and listening to today's show. Thank you to all our sponsors, Limback Lumber, Flat Stick Pub, Georgetown Brewery, All Aces Concrete Coatings, Hive Social, and Tersuli Construction. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube, please. When you watch it, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, leave a comment, try to get to as many as we possibly can. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple and Spotify. When you're there, please rate the show, leave a comment. It all helps if you can. Also check out pucksports.com. There you can sign up to become a member of the Pucks Posse. For $5 a month, you support all the content that we do. Plus, we give you bonus shows throughout the week, like Sports Pit on Tuesdays with Matt Stretch Johnson, Inside Pitch with Divish on Wednesdays, KJ Arts with Mitchie the Kid on Thursdays. Also, be sure to check out the Groz with Gas Take 5 podcast, now produced by Puck Sports. New episodes every Monday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Just search Groz with Gas Take 5. podcast. All right, there you go. Everybody enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday. As always, we promise to be better.
Shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to love. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!